Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jacob. Welcome back to Space Engineers. So, you may be wondering why it still looks like Lagsville and I'm still 500,000 kilometers away from the marker. Because we were jumping between the original place of the trade port to the marker in hopes to get rid of Lagsville, or at least leave it. This has been unsuccessful because I have now determined that Lagsville is caused by this freaking massive space station. Yeah, who knew a massive beast that is several hundred blocks in each direction, well no, not in each direction, but you get the point, could be, you know, so devastating on my CPU. Yeah, so I still want to use its shipyard capabilities, but I can't lug it around with me, and I can't really use this as my main base of operations because, well, lag. So what I have decided to do, you can see that the lag is just getting really bad. Like, we're at 8 frames a second. That's the fun bit. There we go. Right, so what we're going to do to solve the problem, what did I just say? What we're going to do to solve the problem, since the nanite factories on the shipyard managed to successfully build everything, so all of the assemblers, all of the guns, they're all rebuilt, or built, so look, everything's built. That's a lifesaver, except this bit, that needs to be fixed. A lot of stuff needs to be fixed and it's too laggy for me to be bothered to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to place a nanite factory on the capital ship and we're going to get out of Dodge. Yes. Now, the only we can slap this on anywhere because what we're also going to do is transfer all of the cargo over to the capital ship. We're basically abandoning the Scarab. We might return to it later, but currently with Space Engineers being what it is, that's nigh impossible. So we're just going to place it down somewhere. Hopefully place it down somewhere. There we go. Now I need interior plate, don't I? Yes, interior plate. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't lag my game as much. Let's get the interior plate at 3 frames per second. This is why we are going to leave, by the way. Interior plate, interior plate, interior plate. Where the hell are you? There you go. Right. Just need one. For now. We're going to be using the nanite factories on the ship, on the Scarab, to build this thing. Because I'm not building it by hand, and I don't think you are either. So we've now placed that. We can deal with the cabling later, which is what I plan to do. So now all I need to do is just activate the Scarab. I should really rename this to the Scarab actually. I'm going to do that. Scarab. There we go. See if that changed the name. No, it didn't. Right. Then we'll just leave it as is. Shipyard. Shipyard construct on. Prepare for even more lag as this thing gets constructed. Now, the reason why it's getting constructed is because we've got a connector link to the station. Now, how useful they are. So this thing should be constructed with ease. Hopefully. He says. We only need the basic nanite factory to be constructed because then we could use it to construct the rest of the components that we need. And the ship that we're going to build that will replace the shipyard in terms of function. I have a few theories on what that could look like, but as of now I haven't gone into too much detail. So, just going to wait for that to happen. What I should also do, actually, since we're going to need to prepare for this, I am going to mess around with the inventories, which is going to take lag amount of seconds, and I should probably do from the outside so that I don't crash. Now, I have crashed multiple times, hence why I am ditching the Scarab. It is a shame that I have to, but I have to. Right, let's double check this is finished. No, we're out of detector components. We can finish those later. Right, so let's turn off the shipyard before I die. Literally. Oh, no. They're finishing it, aren't they? How useful. Right. We did have detector components. That's fine. Shipyard. Off. Effective immediately. You should have all the components required, so I could just weld you up. This is a max welder, by the way, and it's taking ages. Right, now that that's done, what we need to do now, and this is the fun bit. By fun, I don't really know what I mean. We have to sort out all of the inventories to make sure we have everything on the capital ship. And before I do that, I'm going to save the game, because I don't want to have to go through that again. Right, inventory. So, we have station. Yeah, show hidden. So we have the these 4 inventories which are holding things. These are the only things that are holding things, by the way. So we can show them on terminal. That should help me. Right. Seal that. Change that to station. Good. Next thing we need to do is we need to get rid of these parameters here. This means that the automated system that sorts everything will no longer consider them as inventories that pull things to it. It's basically things that contain things that should no longer contain things. That was really badly explained. I apologize. So we now go over to our cargo container, which also needs to be shown in inventory. Thank you. Really? Are you doing this to me? I need to find my cargo components. There we go. We need to change this to P1 and do the bracket system. Now, this will make the components section now pull all the components, if I am correct. So if I go car comp, well, it does have quite a lot of shells. I didn't think I wanted to do that. I might have left the assemblers on, and now it's just used a ton of resources to build a ton of armor-piercing shells. Anyway, that's cargo components thing P1. I might have done that completely incorrectly, in which case that's my bad. So, cargo components P1. Cargo. There's a ton of cargo containers on the other ship which we're not going to deal with. You want to be... that's because it's components. I need a component. Right, that should pull everything. Prepare for system lag, or not. This one needs to be priority 1 for ores, even though there don't exist any. That was poor. That was poor everything. Then we need to change this one to component, and then we're going to set this to priority 2. So if component 1 has filled up, then component 2 will get everything else. So that should be working now, and then I just need to set this to ingot. Always setting it to priority 1 just in case I do something stupid. Right, so let's have a look at our inventories. Look, success, we have a ton of resources here. I think we are now good. Right, so let's search for steel. Oh yes. One thing that I now have to do is I now have to get rid of all of the exempt... What's this? Arc fuel. Okay, I'll look at that later. I now have to get rid of all of the exempt from the entire shipyard array, which is going to take a while. Right. I'll be back in a second once I have gotten rid of all of this, and we should be good to move. Okay, everything is transferred, so I am going to cut this off. Right, that should separate the two entities. Good. Right. Now, the problem is that when we docked it moved all of our uranium to somewhere else. So we're going to need to go fetch the uranium, which is going to be in the ingot storage, which I may not be able to access because I just turned off everything. Good job there. Right, we have uranium. Just need to repower things. Luckily these are accessible. Throw about 100 in there. Shoot, what was that? Why are we firing? Did we just fire at the station? I want to see what the hell you guys were firing at.
No fuel.
And why are we now out of fuel again? Right. Something weird is going on. Oh, right. I know. It's because I renamed things. Right, let's make... we need to rename these reactors so that they actually do something. Reactor, U1 uranium, colon 200, colon P1, close, right? No, right, okay, then we shall change you to just be exempt, for now. Exempt, close thing, good. Right, now let's get some uranium. This is going to be entertaining. Because we're about to have the guns fire again. Oh, look at how low the simulation speed has gone. That is mighty loud. Now, I didn't program the guns to fire at neutrals. Right, what were we firing at? Actually, no, I've got a better idea. We turn things on, then we move. Right, we're accelerating at least. Please stop firing, you're wasting ammunition. I know that we have a ton of it. Just stop firing. Right. I'm going to turn off everything until we get clear of the station, because that would be a very good idea. And then I could sort out what the hell the guns are doing, because they should be off. You know, see down here, they should be off. Right, let's get rid of the jump drive from there, because we don't need it. I mean, we could, like, do a short jump, I guess. Jump, drive. Remove the marker, get about 20 kilometers. Right, we're about to move. You can see the frame rate is improving already. Right. Does take a while for the ship to actually jump, doesn't it? Right. You are now not moving. And we're back at something above 30 frames a second. Now, we have lost the location of the station. I really should have put a waypoint there. How far did we move? Jump drive. 20 kilometers. Right, we are heading back in that direction. 20 kilometers. If I can actually, you know, do that. So, that constellation right there. Okay. I need to aim very carefully, because I need to make sure I remember where that thing is, instead of leaving it adrift for someone else to find. Which means that we're going to have to head back. Right. Do we have contact? Okay, there, right. We will create a GPS waypoint that will say the Scarab's grave. Yeah, that may be a good idea. Right, now let's continue our journey by heading back towards the moon, because I want to be in, well, closer to the moon really. Let's increase jump distance by about 100 kilometers, shall we? Though that may not be a good idea. It is an idea nonetheless. Right, I'll increase it up to like 96 and hope we don't, you know, enter a gravity well. Right, so the plan now is to hook up to that nanite factory so that we can actually use it. Sort out the guns so that they are all off at the same time. Good, right. We are successfully far away. Good. And also repair everything that needs repairing. So, now that we're here and we're stopped, I'm not confident that these guns are completely off. So, let's go. Quad. Are you on? No, 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 no. Yes. Why? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn off, turn off, turn off. Quad guns. All of them. Good. You will fire at neutrals in comparison to you won't fire at neutral. Right. That's probably why it was shooting, because they were firing at neutrals and they were on. So let's turn that off quickly before I make a diplomatic situation. A diplomatic incident, rather. So these are the quad guns, and then we've got the defense guns. Right, defense turrets. Did I really spell defense wrong? Right. You're off, off. No, you guys are on. Turn them off. Off, off, on. Right, you should all be off, correct? Good. And we'll neutrals off, good. Right, now I don't have to mess around with the turrets anymore. Let's open the front hatch, because we've got no oxygen anyway. That thing blew out the air once when we had a spatial anomaly. Right. Now that we're in, you know, lovely high space thing, come on, you know you want to. Oh, that's because nothing fits in there anymore. Right. Comp P2. Fit stuff in there. Good. Reactor. Let's change this. Right. Both reactors now exempt until I remember how the damn sorting system works. Right, now let's get everything back under control. No, first thing that we need to do is we need to power the, well no, not power, it's already powered, but we need to get the nanite factory some components. And in order to do so we need things. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Okay, good. So what we need to do is we need to connect this to another conveyor pipe. Where that will be, however, is another story entirely. Perhaps it wasn't the best idea to place it there. Okay, right. I'm going to hook this up to the conveyor network, and I'll be back in a second. Right, okay, we now have a conveyor, badly placed conveyor, it will change later, that is now giving us access to the nanite factory. Now, I want to move the nanite factory because it is currently in a bad position. But that will probably be done later when we build a ship that is supposed to have nanofactory on it, instead of a ship that's supposed to be shooting things but instead is not. Well, it was, but not on my command. We'll need to leave this open. So what we need to do next is start repairing, well, patching up the ship, and by doing so I need like 100 steel minimum, and also some construction components and some interior plate. Should be good. Luckily I can carry a stupid amount of stuff, so this is all fine. Look here, look at the mess. Right, let's repair that, shall we? I need slope, there, good. So the nanofactory should, you know, repair things. It's not as fast as the shipyard, but the simulation speed at least is not dead. Right, let's get some doors. Sliding door, or we can start transitioning over to the new one, which, no. Yeah, so for these doors we may as well use the airlock, because that would be a better idea. Now, which one here? Airlock. So we can either go for airlock or armoured. I will go for this one, and this is the correct way up, so that's fine. Okay, right, it's closed anyway. I'll have to go round the other side in order to actually get there. Also got a bit of damage over here. Let's patch that up. Yeah, just looking for pieces of damage, and then we're going to fix it. Now, we have the entire inventory that the space station used to have. It's quite sizable, which is actually no small statement. So we also need, I've forgotten the name, catwalk, there we go. You can hear everything whirring to life for some reason. I don't think I've actually hooked it up so that it will automatically do things. Not yet anyway. You doing anything? No? Then shush. I'm trying to record an episode here. Right. That was me talking to an inanimate object there. Let's place conveyor tubes so that we can hook up the rest of that. And then we need to place steel plate, some more steel plate. Here, no, not there. Actually, yes, there. Here, 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 here. Right. Now this, I'll keep this open so that we can actually get out. Right, so those rudimentary repairs, like in the vaguest sense of rudimentary, we've now repaired the ship into working order. I wonder if, you know, the nanofactory is actually doing things. I'm going to check, because that would be a very good idea, whether to, well, to see if it's actually doing anything. Let's have a look. You doing things? You green? Yes, you're green. Good, you're doing things. Right, I'm going to quickly save in case this crashes. Good, we have not crashed. So, the plan, which will probably be the name of the episode, is we are going to create a smaller version of the Scarab, which I'm going to call the Beetle. If you get the, you know, naming, never mind. So the Beetle is basically going to be a ship around this size, but it will have nanite factories on the interior, and cargo bays and assemblies. So basically it will take this midsection here, put it into a new ship, make the ship, which is actually going to be bigger than this by the end of it, and then create some kind of wire frame around which we can have the nanofactories like we have on the Scarab, but not taking up as much space and not as many nanofactories. And once we've done that, then we can start constructing proper capital ships. So it's like a combat shipyard, really, though it's not fit for combat. It's basically not a station, it's a mobile shipyard, essentially. It won't be able to build everything, but it will be able to build most things. What we also need to do is we need to get a mining ship that has a mining laser, which will probably be probably be our first construction using the beetle. But other than that, I have a lot of prep to do. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.